Is it a good time to buy a property? Now, this video isn't so much about whether it is a good idea or not to buy property in Thailand, but more so if you are looking to make a purchase, is now a good time to get into the market? Now, I know there are a lot of opinions out there about buying property in Thailand. A lot of people will say never to buy property in Thailand. It is a terrible idea. But there are also people out there who have bought property, who have bought multiple properties and are happy with what they have done. This video isn't about that. As I said, it's more about if you are looking to buy property, what is the timing looking like? What is going on in the market? Is now a good time to buy for you? So first of all, why would you buy property in Thailand? Well, yes, you can make money to buy here as an investment. There are people who buy condos here and rent out to the general public or to other expats, but you probably don't come into this looking to make outsized returns. It's more, in my view, a lifestyle purchase. If you are looking to buy for yourself, if you live here longer term, or maybe you live here part of the year and you just want to have your own place here the way you like it for when you spend your time here, and maybe you want to share it with friends and family while you're not here. Another reason of why you may want to buy property in Thailand is if you just want to get some money out of your home country, if you want to diversify, if you want to internationalize your financial assets somewhat, taking some money out, putting it in a different market, getting exposure to a different property market in a different country, getting exposure to a different currency is going to diversify your broader financial holdings. So my name is Aaron and I'm from offshoreinasia.com. We help people to move, do business and invest out here in Asia. If you want assistance with any of that stuff, if you're looking to buy property in Thailand or in Asia, we can help you to do that as well. You can head over to offshoreinasia.com to learn more. Well, what I will say just before we get into a bit more of this is that this is not financial advice. This is just presenting you with my personal view on where the market stands at the moment. And for people, I'm not telling you to buy or not to buy, but if you do want to buy, these are some of the things that I would be thinking about if I'm looking at putting some money into Thailand at this point in time. Now, there is a bit of doom and gloom around the Thailand market right now for a few reasons. One of the big ones is the tax changes that are coming in and the potential further tax changes that may be coming in down the track as regards to turning Thailand into a worldwide residency-based taxation system. But even if that doesn't go ahead, there have already been changes made that will tax foreign sourced income when it is remitted into Thailand. So because of all these things, there are people who are looking at going elsewhere, who are less, even if they're not worried about the tax changes, investors don't like uncertainty. So people are less willing to put money into a market, into a country, if they feel there isn't a bit of stability in policy there. You don't really get that sense of stability in policy, investment policy, taxation policy in Thailand at the moment. So that will put a lot of people off. Couple that with a bit of a slowdown in economic activity worldwide, there are some dark clouds in the sky, if you want to put it that way. All right, so when looking at the Thai property market, I find it handy to break it down into two sections. You got the top end and the rest of it, the bottom and the middle part. So first we'll look at the top end of the market. A lot of the high-end property purchases in the condo market are targeted at foreign buyers. So you've got the Chinese, you've got the Russians, Ukrainians to a lesser extent, and then you've got the more sort of traditional markets. You've got East Asia as well, but also the traditional markets, the Europeans, the Americans, the Australians, and so on. And then of course there are the wealthy Thais who may be buying into this market as well. Now there's a few things going on here. China has been one of the biggest buyers of Thai condos for quite a while, but there is a slowdown in China. They are going through a pretty big adjustment in their property market. A lot of people are losing money. There is a lot of pessimism in the investment market, in the property market in China, and that is potentially putting some Chinese people off putting money into Thailand. So if they've got less money, if their investments aren't doing as well in China, they are less likely to put money into another country like Thailand just because they don't have this extra money that they had a couple of years ago. Now with Russia, Russians have been buying into Thailand for quite a while, but this has really accelerated since the war in Ukraine took off, particularly in places like Pattaya and Phuket. There is a large These places have large Russian populations, and a lot of these people are coming in and buying properties. There will be people of military age who are looking to stay out of the war, to not get conscripted into the war. There will be people, Ukrainians and Russians, who just don't want to be in these countries while there is a war going on. So a lot of people have come over to live in Thailand, but one day the war will end, and when that does happen, a portion of these people, it might not happen overnight, but maybe it might take a couple of years, but a lot of these people will probably go back home, and then some of them will want to sell their properties as well. So that is going to push down demand on the Thai condo market. Looking at the European or the Western markets in general, now a lot of people, a lot of retirees just don't have that extra money that they had a couple of years ago to buy that holiday home or that retirement home in Thailand. That is going to slow things down. This is a bit of a funny one. On the other side, you could look at, well, property has been doing quite well in a lot of countries, so if they have sold up back home, that might free up some cash, free up some capital to buy in Thailand. So this probably could go a little bit both ways, but in general, there probably has been a bit of a slowdown in most Western countries, and people, even if they are, even if it hasn't affected their personal net worth, their bottom line, just the uncertainty of not knowing how your investments in your home country are going to go is going to make you less likely to invest in another country like Thailand. And in general, no matter what country you're looking at, generally the top end of the market will do well when the economy is doing well. And in this case, we're looking at the worldwide economy, and the world economy has slowed down. And that is going to affect the top end of the market, especially when the top end of the market is aimed at foreigners and wealthy Thais. If people don't have as much money, if their businesses aren't going quite as well, they're less likely to invest money in other places like Thailand. Now, the lower end of the market, or the bottom end of the market, this I find is a little bit more interesting potentially, and this is the part where I think where there may be some opportunity for people who are willing to go into this portion, this segment of the market. And here I'm talking about condos in the sub 3 million baht range. Now, the thing about the lower end of the market is you're not competing so much with, or not competing, but like the market itself isn't aimed so much with foreign buyers and big offshore money. You're more buying into the market that is targeted at the local Thai people. And in the Thai local market, well, the economy is a little bit subdued. Interest rates are relatively high. People are more financially constrained than they were a couple of years ago. Private debt levels are very high. Local Thai people in general as a populace are carrying quite a lot of private debt. Now, for these reasons, it makes it harder for Thai people to get a loan to buy a condo. So there's less people putting money in. That is generally going to push prices down. And if people can't offload their properties, they will be more likely to negotiate. I'm not necessarily saying that prices are tanking, but I think Thai people who own condos here are perhaps a little bit more willing to negotiate at the moment, and you may get some more favorable terms when you're negotiating the price. You might be able to knock it down a little bit, and you might get some pretty favorable terms around settlement and so on. And for those who are thinking, oh, you can't buy anything decent for under 3 million, well, you can. You might just have to reevaluate where you want to buy. You might have to go a bit further out, or you might have to get something a little bit older. But one of the things with that is a lot of the older units are they're usually bigger than a lot of the new builds, and they're often a bit more solid. The walls can be a bit thicker and so on. Now, before I cap off this section, I just want to say that I don't want this to come across as promoting cashed up Westerners to come into a foreign market and basically outbid all the locals. All we're doing here, all we're talking about, all any foreign buyer is doing is working within the policies and the rules set out by the Thai government. So foreigners are allowed to own condos outright in Thailand as long as the floor space on the building is not more than 49% foreign owned. That's the foreign quota. So it's all allowed, it's all legal, and of course everyone wants to do the best with their money that they can. All right, that all said, wrapping it up now, basically in my view, summing it all up, I think that the top end of the market carries more risk at this point in time. We don't know what's going to happen with China. We don't know what's going to happen in places like Phuket and Pattaya when a lot of the Russians leave and go home, when the war ends. We don't know what's going on with the global economy in general. things are a little bit uncertain at the moment. With the lower end of the market, it's hard to lose money when prices are already cheap in that segment of the market. So I think there is a little bit more opportunity there. There is a little bit more willingness of sellers to negotiate a good selling price. And this could work out well for people who want to buy at a good, reasonable price. The tax changes make a big difference. This is putting off a lot of foreigners at the moment, especially when we had a policy come in 2024 and they're talking about this further ramp up to a worldwide residency-based taxation system. That is putting off a lot of foreigners. It's creating a lot of uncertainty. People are looking at not spending more than 6 months in Thailand. There will be people who just want to stay in Thailand because Thailand is their home. Maybe they have a family here as well. But the people who aren't so tied down here, some of them are looking at maybe spending the half year somewhere else. And people like that who in the past may have been in the market to buy a condo in Thailand, perhaps they don't want to buy a condo anymore. And of course, no one knows what's going to happen in the future. The market may deteriorate further for some kind of reason that we haven't even sort of thought of yet. We just don't know what's going to happen. So you need to do plenty of research, have a good understanding of how things work out here, and then look at, you know, what segment of the market are you looking to buy into and how is the current economic situation feeding into that. Now, if you are looking to buy and you want some help out here, if you want to get in touch with real estate agents, lawyers, if you want people on the ground who can help you to source properties for you if you're not in Thailand at the moment, we can help you do all of these things. Get in touch over at offshoreinasia.com. Also, if you're wondering what the tax situation will be for you to bring a large sum of money into Thailand, how is that going to be taxable and so forth, we can help you to work through your situation and help you find a way that allows you to bring money in tax-free. So head over to offshoreinasia.com, send us an email there if you are interested in talking further about buying property in Thailand. We'll leave the video there, guys. Please leave your comments down below. We'd love to hear from people who already own property out here and what has been your experience. A lot of people, like I said at the top, will have different views. A lot of people are dead against buying property out here. That is understandable. For some other people, it's not such a bad idea. It's more of a lifestyle play. It's less about making money. Let us know what you think. We'll catch you later.